up, guys? It's me, Munchcraft, and I'm super pumped today because today we're going to be making another continuation of the Maze Game series, and this is by far one of the most interesting. So what we're going to be doing is creating level changing, and that's really amazing when you get to see it in action. So without further ado, let us open up a new Google tab and get back into our maze game. So where we left off, we had a nice little game with our character who spawns, and when he touches the side or other black things, he dies. But when he gets to the green, it just says you won, but nothing happens. We want to make it so that the level changes when he touches it. So if we go into the code of the finish and we see this, we want to broadcast another message. And the reason why is, like I said last time, it's sending text messages to other sprites. So the reason why we are doing this is to send a text message to the maze to change. So when this guy receives the maze text, he will go to the next costume. And that will, then he will want to send a text message to the player to move back to the beginning. New message, player text. We want a text message for the player. So if we go into the player sprite, and sorry about a little bit of the background noise, but anyway. So if we go here, when I receive player text, and we want it to change so that it goes back to the beginning of the entire game. So what does it have in the beginning? It has go to X, -24, Y 76. So now what we're going to do is drag this over, and this should work as long as we have another costume. So from this costume, let's move forward and make a different one. And instead of green, we definitely do not want green. We want more black. So let's make this covered in black, and then let's make this covered in black. And then this covered in black, except we'll rotate it to make it go like this. And if we Control C, Control V, that will duplicate it. So yeah, so now if we do this and we run it, the player spawns on death. Like I said, we shouldn't do that. So we should have it away from the player a little bit, like that. So now the player can move. And yeah, so when he gets up here, it should say you won and move on to the next level. Yeah, so this is really cool. But one feature that is missing is moving levels, moving platforms and levels. And so that is easily done. Let's create a new costume. And in this, we want to have, let's make it similar to the other costume I had. So we want an opening, a wide opening, to make it seem like the players just come out of a vent. And then we are going to have this move here. And then in the maze, we're going to make black squares right around that. So one here and one here. And we should make this definitely longer. So about there. Or here. Yeah. And then we're gonna put a blocker. And another blocker here. So basically the player's path is to go in here and we'll make a vent in here. To go around here. And so basically what the player will do is he'll spawn here, he'll start moving up. So if we play in this level, it's going to be hard, but we play in this level, so he's going to go down here and there's going to be a button here, and when he presses that button, it's going to change the costume to something else. So we're going to duplicate this, and instead of having two blockers here, we're going to rotate this and make it cover the top. So when he presses the button, it's going to rotate these two and make it cover the top. And this is actually one of the levels in my game. So that's cool, a recreation of one of the levels in my games. And so then the player will be able to reach there. So if we hit the save now and we go into the player code. Oh, first we're going to want to create another sprite. And we're going to make it a little nice small button. And buttons aren't that hard to create in Scratch. Just make a small black square with a even smaller white circle. And yeah, that's basically an exact duplicate of what my level was. So when green flag clicked forever, or when green flag clicked hide, because we don't want it to show at the beginning. Forever if then. And then we're going to get an equal to. And take, or costume number. And then get that in here. And backspace this. And what costume number was it in the maze again? It was costume 3. So if costume number is equal to 3, then we are going to show. And we can just drag this forever right into the maze. And if you notice, I drag and dropped it right over on the maze sprite. So, and then we can delete it in the button. So if we go in the maze and we get a when green flag clicked here. So, yeah. And then instead of show, we're going to broadcast a message to the button text. And I know it's a bit confusing with all these text messages, but it's actually really useful when we're coding. So when I receive button text, and we're going to show forever. If then, touching player, and when it touches the player, it should disappear. If then touching player, then hide. And then we're going to send another text message back to the maze. Broadcast maze text 2. And get in the maze text, we're going to get maze text 2 and change costume to costume 4. So now this works. Oh, and also, when green flag clicked, we want to switch the costume to costume 1, so that we're not all confused and everything. Now, when we click the beginning and we touch the side, we die. And when we get to the green, it says you won and moves on. We can play these levels. And then once we get here and we go to the button, it changes. And this is perfect. And be sure to include a little hole down here so that you know that the player can actually get through. And then when you get here, it should stop the game. So now, if we go to the finish and we say, when green flag clicked forever, if then touching player, but don't put it in yet, if touching player and the maze number, what is it? Costume 4. Costume number is equal to 4. And instead of having this here, that will be very problematic. So we should put that in the maze. And then once this is here, we should get a when green flag clicked forever, if then. And now we're going to put this in. And we're going to send yet another text message to the finish. Finish text. Sending a text message to the finish. So instead of when green flag clicked, we want the when I receive finish text. And put if touching player and nothing. Just leave this blank, and we're going to say the end. And now think the end. And now we're basically done. We just need to add in a stop all. And this is the end of the basic game, but I'm going to be adding a couple more extra features in some other tutorials, so be sure to check those out. So let's just play this. So if we get through the levels, it says you won when you touch it, and then there's this button level, and yeah, you won. And then it starts over. Okay, so yeah, so basically we have just created a maze game. What? We've created a maze game. That's amazing. Like, and this and actually you should get rid of, because why complicate things when you don't need to? So anyway, you guys should show this off to your parents, and be sure to tell some of your other friends about this channel, so they can check it out and become expert coders like you. And so be sure to subscribe and like, and tell all your friends about the channel, so they can learn. And yeah, thank you for watching, and see you all next time.